When I found out Julian had extended his out-of-town project for another 7 years, I didn't call. I didn't text. I left New York and traveled hours to reach his project site, only to be stopped at the gate by an older guard.
Hello, does Julian work here?
What do you want with my son-in-law?
The words hit me like a thunderclap. I told myself it was a coincidence.
Relax, Mr. Miller. Everyone around here knows Julian is totally whipped. Other guys might mess around, but your son-in-law wouldn't dare. She's probably here on business from corporate.
I kept my composure and pulled up a photo of Julian on my phone.
I am here on business. Is this the Julian you're talking about?
The old man relaxed.
Yeah, that's him. That's my son-in-law.
The blood in my veins froze. Before I could process a single word, a woman appeared, well-dressed, smiling.
You here to talk business with my man? Come wait at our place. Our son's got a fever. He took him to the hospital in town.
I stared at her, thunderstruck, barely able to breathe.
I'm Julian's wife. Just call me Mia.
She was warm and talkative, smile never leaving her face.
There's nothing but rough guys around here, and half of them don't know how to act. A woman shouldn't be standing around alone out here. Come on back to the house. He'll be a while.
And I followed her. I watched her as we walked. Her foundation was uneven, powder-caked at her eye corners, but she was clearly over 10 years younger than Julian, who just turned 37.
Lord, you women from New York really are something else. Look at that skin, smooth as a baby's bottom.
Her eyes were full of admiration.
My man's got skin just like yours, all soft and clear.
She laughed.
You city girls really do have it all.
I forced a smile. She wasn't wrong. Julian and I both had good skin. I was older than Mia by a fair margin, but I'd taken care of myself. I still looked like I was in my mid-20s. No one would guess I'd been married for 12 years. But what did any of that matter? I had a career, raised our son, cared for his parents, and handled everything alone. But my husband still built an entirely different life here behind my back. Mia talked the whole way. She didn't seem to need a response. At some point, a couple on a motorcycle slowed as they passed us. The woman on the back held out a small paper bag.
Your man thinks of everything, takes the kid to the doctor, and still remembers you wanted roasted peanuts. Asked me to drop these off. He worries too much. Your husband really does take care of you. That man does whatever she says, no questions asked. Doesn't matter how tough he acts out here. One look from Mia and he folds. One tear and he's completely hers. Oh, stop it.
A bitter ache welled up inside me. My husband, the man who spent 12 years talking to me about equality, respect, and partnership. That man had come out here and willingly turned himself into another woman's lapdog. Mia's house stopped me in my tracks.
My man built it. Nobody else around here has anything like it. And he's the first guy in town to move in with his wife's family. Takes care of my parents like they're his own.
Moved in with her family? The moment I stepped into the living room, I saw it. We had a photo just like it. Only ours had just 3 people, no daughter. The year Julian first left for this project.
2 years max. I'll get transferred back. And when I do, if you want, we'll try for a second baby. After that, we'll never be apart again.
2 years turned into 7. He came home for a few days every Christmas, and that was it. Last year, while he was back for the holidays, I casually said I still wished we'd had a daughter.
Honestly, with the way things are, smart people aren't having more kids. One's enough. Why put yourself through it?
I thought he'd simply changed his mind. Turns out he already had his daughter. He just hadn't had her with me.
We've got Wi-Fi, passwords 990913.
Something jolted in my chest. Julian had told me there was no reliable internet signal out here. That was why I could never reach him directly. He always had to be the one to contact me first. I connected to the network. Full bars, one lie after another, each one like a knife sinking in deep.
You two seem really happy. Does it worry you that he might get transferred back to New York someday? Not really. Between us, they almost called him back earlier this year.
My chest tightened.
He used every favor he had just to stay.
My heart dropped. It wasn't the company keeping him here. He'd asked to stay. He'd fought to stay. He'd done that knowing his mother had suffered a stroke and couldn't care for herself. He'd done that knowing his father had broken his leg in a fall and needed help. He'd done that knowing our son had cried over and over about missing his father. He'd done that knowing I'd been worn down by work and family until I'd ended up in the hospital more than once, and he'd stayed anyway. Comfortably. 1,000 miles away.
A chill ran through me, my shoulders trembling slightly. Mia crossed the room and switched on the air conditioning, thinking I was cold.
It'll warm up in a minute. My man got me a good one. A big brand name. Didn't even blink at the price. Nobody else in town has one. I didn't even want it. I told him it was too much, but he insisted. Said he was worried I'd be cold in the winter.
I kept the smile on my face.
He's quite a bit older than you,
I said.
Is this his second marriage? 10 years older. We're both getting married for the first time.
Mia smiled.
I'm the lucky one. A girl like me barely finished high school, ending up with a man who has a master's degree. He's the project manager for the whole development. Basically second in command under the owner. I never imagined I'd end up married to someone like that. He says meeting me was the best thing that ever happened to him. The age gap's a good thing, honestly. Older men know how to take care of you. He's responsible at work and at home. Every paycheck goes straight to me. I give him a little spending money and that's it.
Bitterness welled up in my chest. For years, Julian had been sending money back to our joint account every month. Only left $1,000 for himself. He told me his housing and meals were covered, that he barely spent anything out here. I had a college roommate who worked in his company's payroll department. Years ago, I'd quietly checked his monthly salary once, $11,000, and let myself believe him. I didn't believe him anymore.
He takes good care of the whole family. God, yes. She gestured around the room. My mom has a bad back. He bought her that massage chair without blinking. My dad likes his whiskey, so Julian keeps cases of the good stuff stocked for him, and he gives me a separate allowance every month for whatever I want.
I heard it, and I knew. Julian had been taking bribes. The bitterness turned colder, not just for myself, but for his parents, who had no idea.
3 months ago, his mother had nearly died. A severe stroke.
Julian, please. She's in critical condition. She keeps asking for you. Please come home.
I'm so sorry, Chloe. The project is at a critical stage right now. I really can't leave. She'll be okay.
So many nights like that, his phone unanswered, or always some excuse he couldn't come. He never came back. He ignored his own family, his parents, his son, and the whole time, he was here being a good husband, a good father, a good son-in-law. The irony was sickening. Mia's phone rang. She didn't step away or lower her voice. She just answered it right there.
Hey, baby.
Close enough that I heard every word. Julian's voice. The same warm tone he used to use with me.
Our son still hasn't broken his fever. The doctor wants to keep him overnight. I'm a little short on cash. Can you transfer me some? $300 should cover it.
Of course. I'll send it now.
I laughed inwardly. The devoted family husband. Then Julian's voice softened.
I can't hold you tonight, baby. Stay warm, okay? Don't kick off the blankets. One day away from you and I already feel off.
Those words stabbed at my chest like sharp blades. 12 years of marriage, and the last time he'd said anything like that to me felt like a lifetime ago. These days, he didn't even show that warmth toward our own son. Time had turned us an old married couple in name only.
I just realized I never asked your name. Chloe. What a pretty name.
She was as cheerful as ever. Even now, I was still giving her the benefit of the doubt. There was a good chance she had no idea, that she was just as deceived as I was.
Since Julian won't be back tonight, why don't you just stay? You can talk to him about the work stuff tomorrow.
That evening, Mia cooked a full dinner, a proper, generous spread. I met their daughter for the first time. She had Julian's eyes. Mr. and Mrs. Miller were polite to me, but barely. There was a wariness in their gaze that I noticed, but didn't mention. At the table, the conversation kept circling back to Julian. The way they talked about him, he wasn't a son-in-law, he was their son. Mia was an only child. In a town like this, that had always meant something for her parents. They'd spent their whole lives looked down on for not having a son. Then Julian arrived, moved in, supported the whole family, treated them like his own. And for the first time, they held their heads up.
Julian is the rock of this family. We can't do without him.
Something stuck in my throat, like a thorn I couldn't pull out. The rock of our family, gone for 7 years, had been holding up someone else's family all along. Mia put me in the guest room for the night. After the lights went out, I lay awake, unable to sleep. Through the wall, I could hear Mr. and Mrs. Miller talking quietly for a long time. I made 2 decisions. I filed a report, with documentation, with proof, to Julian's corporate headquarters. Then, I texted my brother. He was a police officer.
I'm going to need you to make an arrest.
Neither decision felt satisfying, but both were right. Justice for my life, a consequence he'd earned. The next morning,
It's cold and you're not dressed for it. My man just bought this for me. Only been washed once, never worn.
a designer label I'd spent an entire winter eyeing, adding to my cart, removing it, telling myself there were more important things to spend money on, parents to care for, a son to raise. I used to say things like that to Julian.
Other husbands buy their wives things. In all these years, you've never once picked something out for me.
In all these years, he always had the same answer, calm and easy.
The money's yours. Buy whatever you want. I wouldn't know what to choose anyway. I'm no good with that kind of thing.
He wasn't no good. He just didn't care enough to try. Not for me.
Thank you so much.
It was beautiful. It was warm. Mia blinked, a flash of surprise crossing her face. She'd clearly expected me to refuse politely. At breakfast, she was back to her usual self, cheerful, talkative, dropping Julian's name into every other sentence. She asked me questions too. What was New York like? What did I do for work? At one point, she looked at me and asked,
Are you happy? It's fine. My husband just isn't as attentive as yours.
She smiled widely at that. Then just before noon, the front door swung open.
Honey, I'm home.
Julian's voice filled the house. He walked in carrying their 5-year-old son. The moment his eyes landed on me, he went rigid. I looked at him steadily.
Which honey are you talking to? Exactly.
Julian's face locked up. He stood there holding the boy and said absolutely nothing. I held his gaze. My eyes said everything I didn't speak aloud. Why? How could you? Do you have any idea what you've done to your son? To your parents? He was an only child. His whole life, they had sacrificed everything for him. And he had walked away from all of it and quietly become the son of someone else's family. I would never understand it. I would never forgive it. Mia broke first.
What does that mean?
She grabbed my arm, then turned to Julian.
Julian? Julian, look at me. What is going on? I don't understand. Why would she call you that? Why is she calling you that?
The paralysis broke from Julian's face. He quickly set the boy down. He took a few steps forward, then stopped, caught exactly halfway between us, unable to choose a direction.
I'll explain everything.
Explain what? That our 12-year marriage is nothing but an empty shell? That you have no parents? No son? Or that you, a married man, have been living out here as another woman's husband and you're ready to file for divorce so she can finally have your last name?
Every word landed. He had no answer. He looked like a man caught with nowhere to run.
I know I don't deserve forgiveness.
He finally said.
I'm sorry.
Mia fell apart.
Sorry? What does that mean for me?
She was crying now, fully.
You said I was everything to you. You said I was your life. Say something. Tell me what's happening right now.
And then Julian turned away from me and moved to pull her into his arms. My heart was bleeding. Fury rose through me.
Then what are you saying?
I demanded. He let go of her. He didn't dare hold her again. He stood there looking cornered, miserable, caught between 2 directions with no good move left. In the silence, my phone rang. Julian's father. A video call. I answered without hesitating and switched to the rear camera.
Have you found Julian yet?
The old man's voice was full of hope. He hadn't seen his son in almost 2 years. I walked the phone slowly across the living room until the camera landed on the family portrait on the wall. All 6 of them, all smiling.
Found him. Along with his new wife, his new son, his new daughter, his new family. This is other home. He moved in with her family. He's been taking care of them for years.
I heard my father-in-law's sharp intake of breath. For a moment, he was too furious to speak. I turned the camera to Julian and Mia.
Dad, meet the new family.
Julian, is this what you've been doing? This. You have no regard for your mother and me. No regard for your wife and son. Are you trying to put me in the grave? Turn it off. Stop filming. Just stop. I no longer have a son. Do you hear me? I have no son.
In the middle of it all, Mr. and Mrs. Miller walked through the front door. The moment Mr. and Mrs. Miller understood who I was,
if Julian chose to marry my daughter and have children with her, that tells you everything about where he stands. End it clean and move on. We're not giving him up.
I've treated Julian like my own son from the day he walked into this house. He and Mia love each other. That's not going to change.
And what do you say?
he had been staring at the floor. When my eyes finally forced his head up, he hesitated, then asked me slowly,
Do you still want me back?
Before I could answer, Mia flew across the room. She dropped to the floor in front of him and grabbed his collar.
What kind of question is that? If she still wants you, does that mean you'll throw me away? Julian, if you dare leave this family, I'll take the kids and end it all. I mean it. She gave you one child. I gave you two. I have given you more. You can't just...
Julian pulled her up and tried to calm her.
I just need to know what she...
I laughed hollowly to myself. Then deliberately I said,
I want you to come home. Cut everything here off. For good.
I knew exactly what he was doing. He was waiting for me to make the choice for him, sure that someone like me, with my standards, would never accept a man who had done this. He expected me to say,
I want a divorce!
And hand him his exit. When I didn't, surprise flickered across his face, even a trace of disappointment. I stared at him.
Now it's your turn to choose.
His lips moved. Nothing came out. Mia shook him by the arm, crying.
Say something. You said I'm the love of your life. You said you'd grow old with me. Say it to her face.
Julian had no choice. He looked at me with pleading eyes.
Could we just keep things the way they are? The way they are?
I stared at him, cold. He wanted to keep both of us. My look made him too ashamed to repeat himself.
You stay out here and keep playing husband? I go back to New York, take care of your parents, raise our son alone, run your whole life from the background? Enjoy this one?
He had nothing to say, but I could see it in his face. That was exactly what he'd hoped for. Mia grabbed his arm again, sobbing.
If you don't choose this family, I'll take these kids and die in front of you. You promised me we'd grow old together. You can't abandon us.
She pulled both children over to her, crying.
Understand it. Ask your daddy, she said to them. Ask him if he's going to keep you.
The two children didn't understand what was happening, but seeing Mia cry, they cried too, crowding into Julian's arms.
Daddy, please don't leave us. Daddy, Mommy's crying. You always said you can't stand to see Mommy cry, please?
Julian finally broke. He pulled all three of them into his arms. His eyes went red. Then he looked at me. He had made his decision.
Chloe, I'm sorry. I know you can manage on your own. I know you'll be okay. She can't. She has nothing without me.
He glanced at Mia and the children, then back at me.
Take everything in the house. I won't fight you for custody. But this is the choice I have to make. I'm asking you to let us go.
I laughed, not from humor, from the absurdity of what I was hearing.
She's the one to be pitied? What about your mother, who had a stroke and can't care for herself, who wants nothing more than to see her own son? What about your father, who broke his leg and needed you home and never once said a word about the fact that you didn't come? What about your son, who gets mocked at school for not having a father around, who has cried more times than I can count?
As I spoke, tears fell from my eyes. Not for him. Never again for him. Only because a man like this was never worth everything our family had given. Julian stood there in silence, Shame was written across his entire face. Mia filled the gap.
Don't worry. I'll bring his parents here. I'll take care of them myself. You don't need to concern yourself with any of it.
Then her eyes hardened.
And you? You knew who I was from the very beginning, didn't you? You sat there and let me talk, and you were just collecting evidence!
I smiled at her, contemptuous. Then I called Julian's parents back right there and told them in front of everyone what Julian had just. Some others voice shook with fury.
If you divorce Chloe, you're not my son. Do you understand me? While you were gone, she gave everything to this family, to us. And you want to throw her away?
I will never accept that woman. And those children, I don't know them, and I never will.
Julian's father said the same. Mia broke down crying. Julian was at his breaking point. I ended the call. He wiped his eyes, couldn't look at me, and finally said,
Chloe, I have no right to ask anything of you. But name your terms. Whatever I can give you, I will.
Mia knelt down in front of me.
Please. Please. You're educated, you're capable, you're beautiful. You'll find someone better than him. I can't. He is all I have.
She pulled both children over.
Kneel down. Ask her to let your daddy stay.
Two small faces turned up toward me.
Please, madam, don't take our daddy. Our family needs a daddy, otherwise it won't be whole.
She was using the children to work on my conscience. Anger surged through me.
Your children need a father, and mine doesn't? Your child is older. Mine are still small.
I laughed and stood up from the couch.
The truth is, none of these children, yours or mine, will have a father from here on out.
Both Julian and Mia looked up sharply, not understanding. Not until my brother walked through the door, with local police officers behind him, and Julian's boss and two company directors right after. Only then did Julian understand. I had never intended to give him a choice, and I was certainly not going to let them walk away clean. The sight of so many strangers sent both children into tears. An officer quietly asked Mrs. Miller to take them to another room. Julian stood still, calm, as if he had always known this day would come. Mia was anything but.
What is this? Hides! You have no right to come in here and take my husband!
When no one responded to her satisfaction, she turned all of it on me. Her pointing finger trembled.
You call yourself a decent person?
He already told you, you can have everything.
What more do you want from him?
He's your son's father. How can you be this heartless?
Julian touched her arm.
Stop.
She didn't stop. I looked at her and said plainly,
Everything you've been wearing, living in, eating, that money didn't just come out of my pocket. It was dirty. It came from fraud and corruption. You told me yourself what he was giving you every month. That figure is exactly what I used as evidence. You handed it to me yourself.
Julian turned to stone. His boss stepped forward, his disappointment total.
I trusted you with this entire project. Bribery, kickbacks, substandard materials, embezzlement of public funds. I gave you everything, and this is what you did with it.
Julian kept his eyes on the floor and said nothing. Mia spun toward the officers and grabbed one by the arm.
We'll pay it all back. Every cent. Just please. He's a father. We have children. Please, give him one more chance.
Ma'am,
The officer's voice was firm.
this is a criminal investigation. Repayment is not the issue.
And while that's being sorted out, Mia, you should probably find yourself a lawyer. What you and Julian have constitutes bigamy. That's a separate charge.
She went white. Julian finally looked up. His control snapped.
Everything I did, I'll take responsibility for all of it. But she had nothing to do with any of it. She didn't know. Why are you going after her?
I smiled, cold and contemptuous. Inside, the hatred was overwhelming enough that I wanted to strike him across the face. And then, right at the peak of it, I felt it all drain away into something vast and empty. None of this is worth anything.
She didn't know?
I said.
She knew I was your wife. She brought me home deliberately to force the confrontation.
To pressure you into a divorce. And if she hadn't bragged about the $50,000 a month,
I wouldn't have had the evidence I needed.
Julian stared at Mia,
What did
stunned,
you
demanding
do?
the truth. Mia shook her head frantically.
I didn't know she was going to report you. I never thought she would.
I played a recording. Julian's face drained of color at the first two sentences.
Julian's gonna have to go back and deal with his wife eventually. Even if he drags his feet, Mia will raise hell until he files. She's not the type to share.
Look at that woman. She sat here and took it all without a word. Either she has no backbone, or she's playing a very long game. Oh, she's playing a game. But it won't matter.
Julian has no feelings for her anymore.
Mia just has to cry and he'll sign the papers. You know why Mia brought her home, right?
To light the fuse herself. Julian's expression moved from shock to disbelief to a deep, exhausted disappointment. He looked at Mia.
So you knew all along that I was married.
You brought her here on purpose, to force my hand.
Mia couldn't argue her way out of it. She broke down and admitted it through tears.
I just wanted you to belong to me completely. What's wrong with that? I never thought she'd go this far.
I never thought she'd actually...
Mr. Miller, who had said nothing and immediately began deflecting blame.
If you weren't so spinless and indecisive, none of this would have happened. Now you've brought this on yourself. What happens to the children? What happens to Mia?
What are we supposed to do? How do we ever show our faces around here again?
As he laughed, tears slipped from the corners of his eyes. His face was full of helpless, exhausted disbelief at how stupid Mia had been. For a moment, he genuinely didn't know who to blame. He kept his head down the entire walk to the police car. Outside, people had gathered, then more from neighboring streets. Them there to see the most famously devoted husband in town taken away and...
His wife back in New York is beautiful, educated, a professor, I heard.
And he threw all of that away for this?
Men are never satisfied. Doesn't matter how good things are at home.
Mia said.
Never questioned her once.
And he was rotten the whole time.
Knew he was married.
Brought his wife here himself to force a divorce.
Backfired, didn't it? Tried to steal another woman's husband. Burned her own life down.
The police car door, Julian stopped. He turned and found me in the crowd.
Take care of yourself. I'm sorry, Chloe. Find someone who deserves you.
I looked at him. I said nothing. He got in. Mia ran after the car, stumbling, falling, picking herself up and running again, pounding on the windows, screaming his name, until it turned the corner and disappeared. She came back and collapsed at my feet. She was on her knees, in front of everyone, past caring who saw.
Please.
Please help him. You're educated. You understand how this works better than I do. I don't care about anything else anymore. I just need him not to go to prison.
She held onto the hem of my coat.
Believe me or don't, but I did love him. That part was real.
I looked at her calmly. The hatred I had carried into this situation was gone. She kept going, her voice breaking.
I genuinely didn't know he was married when we first got together. I found out when our son was almost a year old. I found a photo of you on his phone. By then, I was already in too deep. The children, this house, my parents, we were all depending on him.
I didn't know what to do. I know nothing I say matters now. I'm only asking if there's anything you can do.
She didn't get up. She just stayed there on the ground, in front of everyone, her hand clutching my coat, not caring about the stairs. I reached down and removed her hand. I looked at her.
You know what your tears mean to me?
I said quietly.
Crocodile tears.
She blinked up at me. Then she folded over and wept into the ground, and I walked away. I did not soften. I pressed forward with every charge, including bigamy. Julian's parents never blamed me. They supported every decision I made. My son did not take it well. He spent months in therapy, struggling to accept that his father had another family out there, other children, living a parallel life. It took a long time. 6 months later, Mia was sentenced to 1 year for bigamy. Julian's sentencing came 3 months after that. The court found that he had embezzled nearly $97 million, taken over $10 million in bribes, paid out $60 million in kickbacks, misused 20 million in public funds, violated construction regulations, and committed bigamy. Multiple charges. Concurrent sentencing. 11 years. He asked to see me the day he was taken in. I didn't go. I sent my lawyer to handle the divorce. Julian's parents were good to me and my son until the end. Before they passed, they transferred both of their properties into my son's name and left everything they had to us. I kept my promise to them regardless. I cared for them, and I was there when they left. In the 7th year of Julian's sentence, they both passed. His mother went first. Another stroke, too severe to... His father followed the next day. They had been devoted to each other their entire lives. He simply could not face a morning without her. I arranged a proper funeral for both of them. I had my lawyer notify Julian. He sent back one message through the attorney. "Thank you. Can I see you?" I didn't respond. My son was accepted to an Ivy League school the following year. That, more than anything, let me breathe. I heard Mia remarried about 3 years after her release. A divorced man with 2 children of his own. She moved on. I moved on too. My son played matchmaker. He introduced me to the single father of one of his college friends. By then I wasn't looking for anything grand. What I found instead was someone steady, someone present, someone who picked up when I called. We agreed from the start. No children together. We weren't starting over from scratch. We were 2 people who chose to share the rest of the road. 3 years into that marriage, Julian was released. He came to find me. 11 years had not been kind to him. He looked far older than a man his age should. Worn down, diminished, nothing left of the confidence he used to carry. He stood at my door and asked, quietly,
Chloe, is there any way I could come home?
I looked at him.
I took your advice. I found someone good. I married him.